Hello, this is Daniel from Halbeam Design, and this month I will show you how to make a freehand smoking pipe with simple tools and exotic wood. I will go through all of the steps in detail, from how I design the pipe to how I oil and wax the smoking pipe. In this video I will also bend the acrylic mouthpiece in a simple way. If you learn something from this video, please comment or subscribe to my channel. Enjoy! This is called Briar root. It is extremely hard, dense and heat resistant, and it is primarily used for making smoking pipes, as it does not affect the aroma of the tobacco inside. The football side tubers are harvested at the age of about 30 to 60 years, then they're cooked for several hours, then dried for several months before they're further processed. I start by drawing out the edge of the smoking pipe to create an image on how big it will be. When I have finished drawing the outside, I design the bowl, the smoke channel and the hole for the mouthpiece. The pipe will be handmade, which means that I have all the freedom to carve it exactly how I want it to be. It is important that the bowl has a good round bottom and there is a sufficiently large smoke channel. The bowl will be 20 mm wide and the smoke channel is 2.5 mm. It is smart to make the hole for the smoke channel and the bowl before I start shaping the pipe body. To be able to make the hole for the mouthpiece easily, I saw off a piece of the edge to get about 90 degrees, which makes it easier to mark the hole and see that I'm drilling at the right angle. I can really recommend buying a vise if you're going to do a project like this. Or it is really nice to have a sturdy workbench like this. I bought this bench for like $40 on Facebook Marketplace. The purpose of making these videos is to show you guys how easy it is to start creating things with simple tools. If you are interested in creating your own tobacco pipe, you will learn a lot in this video by not making the mistakes I have made in this video and previously made in my other videos when creating my previous pipes. As you can see now, I have sawn the piece so that the bottom of the pipe is around 90 degrees, and now I will saw off a piece on the edge to be able to mark out the hole for the mouthpiece. I measure out the center of the piece and make sure there is enough room for the mouthpiece to sit nicely. Different mouthpieces have different sizes. When I order mine, I make sure to order them with a tenon that is the same diameter as my regular wood drill bits. To avoid making mistakes, I almost always mark my drill bits with a depth stop in tape to prevent me from drilling too deep. It takes very little time and may mean that you don't have to throw the whole piece away. It is one thing to make a pipe for yourself, but if you do like me and makes pipes for a few customers, it is nice not to have to throw away expensive pieces of wood, just because you were lazy and didn't tape up your drill bits. It is very easy to be thorough, and it always pays off. The drill bits I use are standard wood drill bits from the hardware store. The last drill bit is a special drill bit I bought from a pipe maker. If you don't want to buy a special drill bit, you could watch my first pipe making video. In that video I show you how to make your own bowl drill bit using an old spade drill bit and an angle grinder. I start by marking out where the center of the bowl will be from above. It is important that the first hole is to be drilled straight as possible, as I will now drill with larger and larger drill bits to achieve the full diameter and the depth of the hole. If the first hole is off, it will be very difficult to get the others straight. I use several different drill bits to ultimately make it easy for my big boy bit to remove material as easily as possible. The big boy bit is made to create a good round bowl at the bottom of the pipe so that the tobacco lies correctly and gets an even burn. In the bottom of the bowl, the smoke channel should be then to create a perfect airflow from top to bottom. For those of you who are new to this channel and haven't seen any of my previous videos, it is good to know that this is not my full-time job. Often when I demonstrate something at my real job, everything goes as perfectly as it can, even though it has been a long time since I actually practiced it. This also apparently applies when I make YouTube videos, because every time I drill a difficult hole, I hit it perfectly freehand, as you can see here. The hole fits perfectly in the bottom of the bowl and I can continue to act irresponsibly instead of buying a big boy drill press, like I should. I'm just waiting for the day when I fail completely and have to show it to you viewers here on YouTube. The next step is to start shaping the pipe body. Before that I mark out how big the mouthpiece will be so I don't remove too much material, like I did in the previous video. To shape the entire body of the pipe I use a Dremel Router Tool 8260. As an attachment I use a Dremel Max carving bit. They are coated with titanium nitride and lasts twice as long as a standard bit. Dremel has sponsored me with the tool and lots of accessories, but I bought this Dremel Max carving bit myself with my own money to test it out. Carving this pipe with a multi-tool is a lot of fun. This tool is also battery powered, which means that you can sit basically anywhere to do this. If you like watching videos with honest reviews, I suggest you subscribe to this channel. All my future sponsorships will be completely transparent and I will say exactly what I think about the product. A good way to see if I like a product is if you see me using it often. Subscribing also helps me by showing that you like this type of video. Likes, comments and subscriptions help me a lot in my planning work for upcoming videos. Creating this pipe body took me about 30 minutes. It is a very simple process, which is part of the purpose of me uploading videos on YouTube from the beginning. I think a lot of people would be much better off in this world if they just started doing what they really want to do. By showing you viewers how easy it is to make beautiful things with simple tools, I hope to inspire more people by doing something creative. There's also a great potential in uploading videos for me as a business. For example, when I sell this pipe for $250, it is a one-time income. But when I upload a video and people watch it, it generates ad revenue, which in some cases can exceed the price of the product itself. I'm still early in my YouTube career, but the last 365 days have generated 345,000 views and $1,007. I've also received my first donation from Australia, $2 which is completely unreal for me. For me as a small YouTuber with no previous knowledge on video editing and filming can now actually bring more money into my business to do more fun stuff. The more you watch and comment on my videos, the more fun videos I can produce as their ad revenue increases. When I've finished roughly shaping the pipe body, I put on a grinding wheel. This wheel has 60 grit sandpaper, which is very rough, but it helps to remove any rough features left from the Dremel Max bit. After I sand with the 60 grit, I switched to a 120 grit sandpaper to remove the deep grooves from the 60 grit. These grinding wheels from Dremel are very cheap, and there are also other brands that sell wheels that fit this piece even cheaper. When I'm finished with the grinding with the Dremel, I inspect the pipe body. Finally, you can start to see what the final product will look like. And now it is time to make this piece really smooth. I start by hand sanding with 120 grit sandpaper. There is something that feels so pleasant about making a freehand smoking pipe. I myself sometimes imagine that a lot of people have like a primal urge or desire to build something with their bare hands. I myself watch YouTube videos sometimes where individuals move out into the wilderness in Alaska and build themselves like a log cabin all by themselves, and often with very simple tools. Living in such conditions for so long shouldn't be so attractive. But there's still something about it that makes me want to take some time off myself, buy myself some land in the wilderness of northern Sweden and build myself something really neat, preferably from massive logs. After I've sanded the body with 120 grit sandpaper, I grind down the end of the pipe body so it will fit my mouthpiece well. I prefer to do it this way to keep as much wood as long as possible to prevent stupid mistakes. There is always a limit to how much wood that can be removed before a project is destroyed. And if you're wondering what to do with a ruined project, you can always watch my latest video, where I make some adaptations on a project due to a very serious mistake I made on a customer's pipe. I flatten the end of the body to make the mouthpiece and the body fit together perfectly, or flush. And when I'm done with that, I continue to sand the end and check that the mouthpiece fits well. After that, I finish sanding the pipe body with 120 grit sandpaper and get myself ready to continue sanding with finer and finer sandpaper. A lot of other YouTubers tend to edit out the sanding process as it isn't that entertaining to watch. I myself think that it is such an important part of pipe making that I have chosen to put a lot of focus on it. When I learned how to make pipes myself and watch videos about it, I found it very frustrating that they cut out certain parts of the process or didn't say or write what products they use. I try to include all the steps by filming and explaining all the time what I do and which products I use. And I do all of this to make it easier for you viewers who want to try to make a pipe for yourselves. This is the long way of saying that you should like, comment and subscribe to my channel. When I edit this video, I have a total of 543 comments on all of my videos. The vast majority are positive or funny comments, which I often edit into my videos or post on my Instagram channel. I have a few comments where people think I speak way too much and way too bad English to make instructional videos on YouTube. However, it makes me happy that they understand that it is English that I'm trying to speak. And if you also think that I talk way too much in my videos, please tell me in the comments. If you think that I should continue to make a voiceover on my videos, then instead comment something funny or what you think about the pipe body, and maybe I will include your comment in the next video. I finish the sanding with 400 grit sandpaper. After that I start to remove the bark by mechanically poking it away with small metal things I find in my shed. In a previous video I made the reference that bark removal is the equivalent of pimple popping videos on YouTube. I myself clicked on such a video a long time ago and I've barely recovered yet. After that my feed always included such videos at least once a day, but mainly on YouTube Shorts. I understand that people find it satisfying to watch other people remove other people's pimples. I myself do not belong to the category that likes to watch such videos, and I would like to meet a person who actually likes to watch those type of videos to teach myself what is wrong with them and how I identify them at a distance so I never have to meet such a person. But the bark removal is my thing, so to speak. When I'm done with it, you can finally see how nice and smooth the body is. Now it is time to finish the surface of the body. I will do the finish in 3 steps, where the first step is oiling it with Danish oil. Danish oil can be used both indoors and outdoors. The oil penetrates the wood and forms a film that acts as a barrier against dirt and moisture. The oil dries in about 4 to 6 hours and then forms a non-sticky film. And this is everyone's favorite part. The oil gives life to the briar root and shows its veins. It is a very unique and beautiful type of wood. Briar root is mainly used to make pipes. It is also popular to make like knife handles or even fountain pens with it. When I have oiled it completely, it has a glossy surface, but it will disappear after it dries. I add the oil to the pipe body twice to ensure it is fully saturated. I let the oil dry for 8 hours. When I come back, the glossiness is gone and it is dry. I put on another thin layer of Danish oil and let it dry overnight. The next step is to make the pipe body really shiny and resistant to dirt and moisture. Before I put wax on the wood, I chose to polish up the copper ring that sits on the acrylic mouthpiece. To do this, I once again used my cordless Dremel. In the package I got everything needed to polish and grind the metal. I apply brown polishing compound on a small polishing wheel and start polishing the copper ring. First I do a lap with the wheel that has the polishing compound, and then I do a lap with a clean wheel to remove the residue. Polishing up a small ring like this is a very quick job and you get pretty good results with the Dremel. And now we are in the final stages of building this pipe. As a final layer of protection, I will apply a layer of carnauba wax to the entire pipe body. Carnauba wax is a wax that is commonly used in the food industry and in the automotive industry. It is a food safe and very highly resistant to moisture and dirt. I put the wax on by using a cheap buffing wheel that I can put on my DeWalt screwdriver. The wax needs some frictional heat to stick to the wheel, or I can use a heat gun to melt the wax and then dip the wheel into the melted wax. I like tools, so of course we are going to use the heat gun. You don't need that much of a wax to get a good effect with this, as you can see here. Simple tools can take you a long way. The hardest part is often actually starting the project you've always had in your mind. Once you start, just keep going. And for those of you who are considering buying any of the tools I use in the video, I can only say the following. Just do it. You deserve it. There isn't a person who doesn't have room for a Dremel and a screwdriver. Think of all the possibilities, and what a way to make your dreams come true. I heat up the wax I melted on the top of the pipe and wipe it off with a white cloth. Now it is time to assemble the mouthpiece with the pipe body. This video is related to tobacco due to the fact that I'm making a tobacco pipe. Because of this video is not suitable for kids. Whew, pretty intense pictures here. Anyway, to make the pipe even more interesting, I want to bend the acrylic mouthpiece. To do this, I use my heatgun. I heat the mouthpiece for about 2 minutes until it's thoroughly heated. Then it's a matter of bending in the simplest way. I use a pair of gloves, but if you work as a blacksmith, you probably won't need them. In my real job, educational methodology is a very important part. All people learn in different ways. Some individuals can read a page of an instruction book once and then they can do it perfectly right away. Others need to read the instruction book and practice doing the step a lot of times to be able to remember it. I myself are good at finding a way to do things. If it's not dangerous and I or someone else won't get hurt, it's a good way. And now finally it's put together. For all of you who are thinking about making your own, just start. Buy yourself some tools and get to it. I have affiliate links on all my tools and products in the video description. Thanks to all of you who have an incredible attention span and thanks for watching and see you again soon. Bye.